pleasure. Something.
Right. As we understand, you have not been able to return to Accra and get any rest because you definitely cannot be resting whilst your people are suffering, and you have been on the ground all this while. And this morning, as we are speaking to you, you are right there. Let's talk about how coordinated the relief is, if you think that is an important angle of the discussion to look at. How coordinated the relief is, and going forward, is there some permanent approach in sight?
Well, thank you very much, Samson. Regards to you and your listeners. Kindly permit me to respond quickly to the interview that you had with Mr. Edward Obinkenzo of the VRA. I have to be honest with you that after listening to him, I'm even more depressed and I'm even more angry. For the VRA to be telling us this morning that they knew, they foresaw, they predicted that things are going according to what they expect. And we, as community people, were not given this picture. I feel so outraged. You don't treat human beings this way, something. As member of parliament for the area, nobody contacted me from the VRA. As I speak to you, there has been no engagement. So if you knew that this spillage was going to be one of a kind, extraordinary, unprecedented, historic, it was going to be so devastating in its effect, in its impact, why not tell us to prepare and to evacuate? And then, after telling us, you even must follow up to make sure that there has been an evacuation. He is telling us that it is not the duty of VRA to have informed the military, to have informed central government, the presidency, and that they left that for the assembly. Jesus Christ. Are these VRA officials listening to themselves? Do they know what they have put thousands of Ghanaians through? So you knew that this was going to collapse over 500 houses. More than 30,000 people will be displaced. The whole of Mefe virtually will be submerged. As I speak to you, something, villages, entire villages have been wiped out. I'll bring you to Siko. I'll bring you to Kesi Mekofe, to Volokome, to Dofokome. There is virtually no building surviving in this village. So you knew that this is what was going to happen, and you didn't tell us. Look, something, he talks about the simulation they did on the 11th of May. I received reports from the assembly members who took part in that simulation. In Mefe on the 11th of May, Bolo, my assembly member, presented a report. Of course, once again, they didn't involve MP. According to the report I received, the simulation was done with reps from the military, from NADMO, from the police, from the fire service, and from the ambulance department. The question I asked this morning is that where were all these people when they were spilling? There was no military, no NADMO, no ambulance, no fire service. You come and do simulation months ago. Tell the people that when you are going to open the valve, when you are going to spill, all of these people will be there to help you and evacuate you to higher ground. Then when the actual day comes, the D-Day comes, none of these people were informed. Today, something asks you and you say you left that for the district assembly. I mean, how cruel can people be? So I ask, where was the military? Where was the ambulance service? Where was the fire service? Where was the police? It had to take young volunteers and myself, those who could help, physically, moving the vulnerable, lifting them out of flood water. We were taken by surprise. You say that it takes about 24 to 48 hours for the water to get to the lower basin. If you had given us even just 1 hour notice, people will have salvaged valuables. People have lost everything, something. Just come to the camps and talk to people. They couldn't even take their money, their certificates, their medication, even clothes, things that personal things that they need to survive. Nothing. And then VRA is telling us that things are going according to plan. So the plan is that these camps should continue for the rest of the month, going into November, into December, in schools. Something, do you know that all these camps, I now have 21 camps in my constituency. They are all in schools. As long as these camps continue to serve displaced people, it means disruption in the academic calendar. My people are losing academic time. The rest of the country, children are in school. They are going to be writing the same BEC, the same WASI. So VRA is fine. They are okay that thousands of children, as I speak to you, can't have access to their classroom blocks because that is what is now serving as makeshift. Where are tents? Where are decent residential facilities that we could relocate these people to? Who lives in a classroom? Who? Which human being can live in a classroom? No washroom.
So obviously, this was the extent of their planning and how they intended to execute it. You see, when you listen to duty bearers sometimes, and I've been told here to try not to, let my emotions get the better part of me when you are interviewing because you're a professional, you're supposed to do some of these things. But we have seen situations where the people are just rushing and they are being helped and they are losing their things as they try to get into safer grounds. And where they are even going, the school classrooms that they were supposed to be housed, some of those classrooms have also been submerged. So I asked myself, what exactly was this plan long ago? There were people who wanted to access health care in this situation, and they could not be giving attention because they didn't have their NHIA card. It took the Ghana Health Service Director to issue an order that people should be attended to whether they have or they do not have a card. So that brings me to the question again, what exactly was this plan?
Yes, and who has that plan? And why was that plan not shared? We are community leaders. Why don't we have a copy of that plan? As an MP for the area, why can't I have access to that plan? Why didn't I know about this plan? And what is unfolding before our very eyes? Are they happy with their plan? We have a humanitarian crisis. You have sent people to classrooms, no washroom, there is no place to sleep. We are now scrambling all over the place, getting them mattresses. I mean, they are under the vagaries of the weather, mosquito bites. The GMA officials we brought in, the doctors, are telling us that already people are presenting with cases of cholera, of typhoid, skin infections, respiratory illness because of the congestion. And you tell us that things are going according to your plan.
Okay.
So sometimes you wonder, is there some agenda?
So while they are not overwhelmed, it looks as if all of us sitting, here and watching things unfold, appreciate this, that it looks like some of you are clearly overwhelmed. Tell us at this point, what is the way forward from where you stand as the MP for the most affected area in the 9 districts in this 31,000 people?
So something I can tell you ab initio that to us, nothing is going according to plan. The disaster struck, took all of us by surprise. We started with 3 camps. We now have 21 camps. Many more communities have been affected. As I speak to you, according to NADMO official statistics, over 12,000 people in North Tongue are displaced. And these displaced people are putting up in classrooms, day schools, primary schools, junior high schools. We have only Mafes and Kizito as the boarding school, but not built for the numbers that it is containing. Then there is the issue of the looming public health crisis. The Ghana Health Service has warned. You know, when the water levels rose, the water took over places like mortuaries, cemeteries, public toilets, the sewage systems, landfill sites, very, unwholesome places. And the water is now contaminated. This is water that the people are used to drinking, cooking with, bathing and all of that. So we are now trying to get them to stay away. We're bringing them potable water because Ghana Water Company cut water supply. ECG also cut, electricity supply. So we need to have proper camps. That is why our chiefs have suggested, for example, that Saglemi housing is just 30 minutes drive from North Tongue. It's not far from here. Why can't we relocate the people, the displaced people, the over 12,000 displaced people in North Tongue and the additional 20,000 or 25,000 elsewhere? Can't Saglemi, for example, help so that we can free these makeshift camps or safe havens, as they call them, for education to resume? Because as we speak, the future of the children is at stake. I have had to engage volunteer teachers and university students on vacation. And on Monday, we'll be starting some classes within the camps. But that's just an interim measure. It's not a medium to long-term solution. Then we need to also find more relief items for these people. VRA is saying they bought some medications. I don't know where those medications went because if you talk to the GMA, I had to buy the medication they are using. And that's what they have been using in our medical caravans that we are operating across the various camps. I must also emphasize something, that as we speak, what the people need, even in those makeshift camps, they don't have all of it. Public toilets is a major challenge. It was only yesterday that NADMO brought a few portable toilets. The doctors have told us that if we don't address the worsening sanitary conditions, there will be an epidemic which will then extend beyond our borders. It will become a national crisis, public health crisis to deal with. So it's not just, a challenge so far away from our doorstep. If we all don't rally and solve some of these immediate needs, it will affect all of us. So there's enormous work to be done, serious work to be done in terms of even how we offer psychological support. I mean, I brought in a few clinical psychologists, but the numbers are not good enough. It can be better because imagine losing everything that you have, both at home and then at your worksite. Most of them are farmers. All their farms, their fish ponds, their shops are gone. Right. Everything. So they have nothing left. And that is why something, if you permit me, let me use this opportunity to thank very sincerely from the depth of our heart, on behalf of the chiefs and people, those who have reached out to us, and thanks to stations like yours, mobilizing assistance for us. If I can run through the list quickly of all those who have come to...
Please do. We'll make time for you.
Thank you very much, something. The Tanker Owners Union of Ghana, the Race Group, BKQ Foundation, Christian Council of Ghana, Rafimex Company Limited, the Church of the Latter-day Saints, Passion Airlines, Gokalt Pharmaceuticals, Atlantic Pharmaceuticals, Voltic Ghana Limited, Kelmed Pharmaceuticals Limited, Ghana Medical Association, the Ghana Registered Nurses and Midwives Association, the Catholic Relief Trust, Game and Game Associates, Evangelical Presbyterian Church Ghana, Maranatha Oil, Mawum's Construction, and please permit me to really spend some time on the Sky Group of companies. They didn't only bring relief items a truckload, they did not only offer insurance for anybody who may die in the camp, valued at 2.5 million cedis for their dependents. They have also offered to help us build some housing so that we can relocate, because when they went round, they were certain that people are congested in classrooms and children can't have access to the classrooms to continue with their education. So they asked us that if we can provide free land, they will help us to construct housing to at least dislodge some of these displaced people into those housing projects. And I can confirm some people secured the land that they need at 3 locations, and they have sent in their contractors, the subsidiary called Construction Ambassadors. And as I speak to you, construction is ongoing. I was with them earlier in the day this morning. The contractors are working so fast, and we hope that they are promising that in record time, in about 3 weeks, these houses will be ready so that we can relocate.
About how many houses are we looking at?
They are looking at housing for capacity to take 500 people.
500
people. Yes, please.
This is a private initiative?
Yes, a private initiative.
And that brings me to the final question for you before you take leave of us. How is this relief effort being coordinated in such a way that it will benefit those actually in need?
Great question, Samson. So I have a rule that items should not be sent to anybody's house, any office, any warehouse. These groups will tell you that when they have come here, we've called everybody, the DC, NADMO, the chiefs, assembly members, the community leaders, and then most importantly, the victims. Indeed, often we do it in the camps, because there are many camps. We select, if the donors have time and they don't mind crossing the dangerous rivers with us, I mean, these man-made rivers, into the camp, we cross with them, and then we give the items directly to the victims. KFC has told us this morning that they are on their way to feed 1,000 children. They will do the feeding directly. We have told them that we are overwhelmed, so we don't have enough hands. So they should come with as many staff as they can mobilize, and we will be happy to see them feed the children directly, and that's what we are doing. We are setting up now. So I'm asking
about the coordination, because it definitely looks like this is something beyond people like yourself, MP or DCE, so that the state can be in the picture in a bigger way.
Ideally, that should be the case. I was expecting the Interministerial Committee to really have set up some platform, some avenue. Will you be surprised to hear something that we are still waiting for an invitation from the Interministerial Committee? I saw a statement that this matter will be discussed at the cabinet retreat this weekend. So hopefully, after that cabinet retreat, they will get better coordinated. But we cannot wait. I mean, my people are dying. I can't wait for any Interministerial Committee or any invitation. So we are doing our best.
That's understandable.
But we make sure that on the ground, there's no partisanship. When Sky Group came, they themselves said it in their remarks. They were so impressed that the NDC chairman, MPP chairman, all the constituency executives were seated together, same place. The DC was there. I was sitting next to him. We are working together. This is not a partisan issue. These floods have not discriminated. This man-made flood, the VRA-induced flood, have not discriminated between NPP and NDC. So we are working together. And on the ground, we are coordinated. At the top, I wish that there was better coordination. We are not seeing that yet.
Okay.
Probably
thank you. Thank you very much. And I've heard you raise the need for declaration of a state of emergency. Don't you think that the president, after having set up the interministerial committee, you have the chief of staff who is chairing, the minister for national security, minister for interior, defense, energy, finance, local government, works and housing, roads and highways, environment, sanitation, lands and natural resources, and information. Don't you think that this is a vehicle that can be formidable in ensuring better coordination to bring relief and perhaps permanent resolution to this situation? Do you still need a state of emergency?
Yes, we still do, because as ranking member on the Foreign Affairs Committee, when I reach out to our international partners, they indicate that if government declares a state of emergency, it goes a very long way. That's what they need to trigger their assistance, their emergency response mechanism. I mean, all of them, the UN system, all our bilateral, multilateral partners, they have said that. So it will bring in the additional resources we need to address this challenge. So the Interministerial Committee does not solve it. And if you give me a few seconds on permanent solutions, since you're interested in that, we are also really passionate about a permanent solution. We can't continue to be, paying this price. This is a sacrifice we have to carry so that all of us will have electricity. The entire country will be powered. We can industrialize. We can transform our society. But a few cannot continue after giving up their land and not even having been fully compensated, continue to be suffering these floods in this manner. And VRA people think it's nice, it's predictable, it's going according to their plan, and all of those things they are saying. So we are demanding an urgent engineering solution. We believe that modern engineering should allow for these excess water to be rechanneled through tunnels and be used for something else, irrigation, agriculture, other useful things.
At least the VRA budgeted, is it 20 million, he says, for this. That 20 million can do something going forward, correct?
Again, something, let me tell you that I'm disappointed that VRA is only talking about relief items now and 20 million. We are talking about resettlement and compensation. VRA should be told in very clear language that they will not be allowed to get away with this. We demand full compensation.
Do you know?
We have already put our lawyers on standby. We will bring class action if we do not hear of a comprehensive plan to compensate all of my victims, all of these Ghanaians who do not deserve what they have been put through. And that notice must go clear to VRA.
Do you know?
Just a second.
Yes.
We are filing a motion. Yesterday, the minority leader announced this in Togakope when they came to do their presentation. We will be filing a motion demanding an independent parliamentary inquiry into this whole affair. And so these are not matters that we are just going to take the VRA's word for it.
Okay, good to hear that the possible court action is not the first resort. But do you know if VRA has an insurance policy for such a situation?
No, we haven't been informed. The only insurance package we have had is from
First Sky
Serene Insurance for people who may die in the camps.
All right. Thank you very much. Samuel Okujeto Ablakwa is the MP for North Tongue. And as we learned, his constituency was the hardest hit at the start. We don't know if that is still the situation, because at the time, it was about 15,000 that we were counting. And then in the course of the week, we're counting to 26,000. And this morning, it's confirmed that 31,000 plus is what we have to be dealing with.